السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة دلالة وكل دلالة في النار. Verily all the praise and certainly all of the glorification and all of our magnification should be for Allah and Allah alone. And I publicly, I inwardly, and I outwardly declare and attest that there is nothing or no one that deserves to be worshipped except for Rabbul Izzah, Allahu Jalla fi Ulah. And I bear witness that Abu Qasim Al-Mustafa Al-Amin As-Sadiq Wal-Masduq alayhi salatu taslim is the final messenger sent to guide mankind from the darkness into the light. Ya akhwa fillah, ya akhwati fillah, al-unwan al-yawm, our topic for today bi'idhnillahi ta'ala is what is the dress of piety? What is the dress of piety? In light of the fake cloak of piety, ya ikhwan. In light of the fake cloak of piety, ya ikhwan. And this topic, ya ikhwan, I've spoken about it a few times in my life. But again, bumping into Muslims from different parts of the world, they have their idea on what piety should look like, ya ikhwan. And when we're talking about this issue, ya ikhwan, this is in the light of what is known as al-aada muhakkama, or al-urf. This is the science in Islam from the Qawaid Fiqhiyya Khamsa Kubra. One of them is the custom of the people is recognized as long as it doesn't go against Kitab and Sunnah. So some years ago, ya ikhwan, I went to a Muslim bookstore. And I had a thobe on, alhamdulillah, it was the winter time. And I was wearing the hat from the customs of my people, which maybe some of you brothers might have seen, you might not have seen. And the Muslim brothers that were there, I knew them for many years. They got into a discussion with me that led to an argument. And then what they tried to do was bring the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Whoever imitates a people is from them. So I said, brother, that's not the total meaning of the hadith. It's much more deeper than that. So basically, the hat that I was wearing, they're trying to say that I was trying to imitate the kuffar. So I pulled up a picture of my grandfather. I put up a picture of my great-grandfather. And I said, these are the hats of my family. From the urf of the customs of my family, these are the customs of my home in this country. Quote-unquote, the Afro-American. So brother, I didn't immigrate here. I'm from here. These are the hats of my people. They ended up kicking me out of the office. I said, "Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah." So while we were having this discussion back and forth, and I'm very passionate about the religion, ya ikhwan, after embracing it since 1991. Before I left, I said to the brothers, I went and I grabbed a topi and I put it on my head. And I said, this is the topi from the people of Pakistan. Does this make me more pious? Then I took off that hat. Then I put on an Afghani hat. And I said, this is the hat from the people of Afghanistan. Does this make me more pious? And then I took it off. And then I put on a Kenyan hat. And I said, does this Kenyan hat make me more pious? Because these are the things that the brother sold in his store. And then I put on a Saudi gutra, a red gutra. And I said, does this make me the most pious? They got so upset, they kicked me out. And I said to them, the same book that I bought from you, talking about Al-Qawaid Fiqhiyya Khamsa Kubra, the 5 maxims in religion, number 5 is Al-Aada Muhakkama, that the custom of the people is recognized as long as it doesn't go against the religion. Your brother was kicked out of this Muslim store because I didn't look like them. So the question now comes, ya ikhwan, the fake cloak of piety. If I wear a gutra from Saudi, does that mean that I'm pious? This is the question, ya ikhwan. Or is piety somewhere else? If I iron my clothes, which is a good thing, and I iron my gutra, which is a good thing, and I put on fancy clothes and I put on perfume, does that make me more pious, or is that just something that helps us to feel better, looking good, smelling good, feeling good, worshiping Allah good? It all comes down to, my dear brothers, the issue of, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went on to say, ya ikhwan, some beautiful hadith for us to understand. And there's many hadith, ya ikhwan, when you go into the nusus, the Quran and the Sunnah, you find that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a long hadith, "At-taqwa ha-huna, wa yashiru ila sadri thalatha marat." He pointed sallallahu alaihi wasallam to his heart 3 times, saying, "Taqwa, the cloak of taqwa, it's in here, ya ikhwan. It's in here, ya ikhwan." So when we look at the situation, my dear brothers, people sometimes, they judge people on how they dress in society, which is normal. But now, depending upon your niyyah, which is from the first of the Qawaid Khamsa Kubra, al-amur bi-maqasidiha, the science of the intention, ya ikhwan, is something that the Muslims need to go back to. So we find, ya ikhwan, that in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Messenger of Allah went on to say that the one who has a kibr, that he will not enter into the paradise. An ounce of kibr, or a morsel of kibr. So the man came to the Prophet and said, "Inna rajulu yuhibbu an yakunu thawbu hasanan wa na'lahu hasanan." The Prophet went on to say, "Inna Allah jamil yuhibbu jamal." And they wanted to say, al-kibr, batil haq wa ghamt al-nas. We've landed at the point here, ya ikhwan. Just take this hadith, write it in gold, and this is all we need for today. A man came to the Prophet ﷺ after the Prophet said that the man who has a morsel, the woman has a morsel of kibr, will not enter into the paradise. So a man said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, but surely a man, he loves that his clothes are looking good, and he loves that his shoes are looking good." And the Prophet said, "No, that's not it." The Prophet wanted to say that verily Allah, He loves beauty. Verily Allah, He is beautiful and He loves beauty, ya ikhwan. So yes, we should dress up from time to time. But then the Prophet went on to say that al-kibr is al-batil haq wa ghamt al-nas. It is rejecting the truth. It is rejecting the truth, and then now it is looking down upon the people, ya ikhwan. And this is something, ya ikhwan, me as your brother in Islam, I've been Muslim now almost 30 years, 31 years. Muslims have looked down upon me because I'm a new Muslim. And I said to the brothers, I didn't leave from my Muslim country to come over to this non-Muslim country for the dunya. I only accepted Islam based on La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. No conquering people came and forced us to compel Islam. No people came and traded with us to teach us Islam. I embraced Islam only on La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. The cloak of taqwa is in the heart, my brothers. So we find, ya ikhwan, that while I was in Egypt more than 23 years ago, I can remember, mashallah, there was a brother who Allah blessed his people from the land that they're from, that mashallah, tabarakallah, based upon where they're from, is very cold. Allah blessed in the DNA of the people, that mashallah, the brother's beard was bigger than my chest, this huge, mashallah, a massive beard. And the imam at this particular masjid, he was absent for the day, he was sick. So the people looked around in the salat, and they're looking, who can lead us in the salat? So they chose the brother with the big, huge, massive beard, mashallah, tabarakallah, and they pushed him up to lead the salat. It was the worst decision that the Jama'ah made. Everybody looked at him, mashallah, he looked good. He had a nice, massive beard, mashallah, tabarakallah. But mashallah, the brother, he was there to learn, like we're all learning. Then after that, the next salat came a couple hours later, the imam still wasn't there. And we looked around, and people didn't know who to push up. So I knew that there was a brother, mashallah, where he was from. The people in that country, they don't have big beards. They're not people that have a lot of hair. All the brother had, and for the brothers that can see here, he had a little piece of beard like this. This is all that Allah gave him on his beard. I pushed him forward, and another brother pushed him forward. The people looked at us like, this brother here, with this little small beard like this, he's going to lead the salat? Wallahi, brothers, that brother, he led the salat, he had his crying. His recitation was so beautiful. So now the question comes, the cloak of piety, the look of piety. Piety, ya ikhwan, is it really only in how we dress and how we look all the time? Or is there much more than that, my dear brothers? So my dear brothers, you realize, ya ikhwan, that sometimes people, they feel that if you wear a thobe from a particular country, then mashallah, you're pious. You have to wear this particular thobe, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Saudi, mashallah, you're a pious man. But if you wear the cloaks from Morocco, and I was actually kicked out of a masjid for giving the khutbah, ya ikhwan, because my thobe didn't come all the way to my arm here for a particular madhab. They kicked me out after I gave the khutbah. They said, brother, we don't want you to give the khutbah no more. Because in our madhab, you have to have your thobe coming all the way down here to your arms, or else it's not valid. And I said, Akhi, I'm not on your madhab. I'm on madhab dalil. They said, madhab dalil? I said, yes, it's the oldest madhab. We follow the evidence wherever it takes. You need to bring me some ayat and hadith that say that I have to have a thobe that comes from here. Not an opinion. I need ayah from Allah, hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So ya ikhwan, when we look at the situation in the ummah, we have it twisted, brothers. We have it really twisted, ya ikhwan, because Allah Ta'ala has told the believers, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, ya ikhwan. Verily the most honorable of you are those, ya ikhwan, who have the most taqwa. Is taqwa only in a thobe, ya ikhwan? This is the question. And there's a time and there's a place to wear it, my dear brothers. I can remember, and this is one of the most positive stories that I can tell you in my life, back in 1995. I was going to visit the brothers in the jail to give them some dawah. And on the way there, ya ikhwan, I seen something that I only read in books and I only seen in books. I seen a Muslim brother, mashallah, an old sheikh, coming from Turkey to visit the embassy here and to do a big talk. And his turban had to be, ya ikhwan, this big. And everybody on the subway was looking at him like this, because his turban was this huge, ya ikhwan. So I went and I gave salam to the sheikh. He said, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I said, sheikh, everybody, they're looking at you. MashaAllah, sheikh, your turban is so big. Why are you wearing such a big turban? He said, ya ikhwan, the most powerful thing, ya ikhwan. And up until today, I wish that we could implement that more. He said, we're in the land of the non-Muslims. So instead of the non-Muslims finding problems with my wife wearing niqab, and staring at her and looking at her that she's weird, and she's backwards, they got to look at me first. They got to look at me first and see his massive, powerful turban. Yeah, Juan, sometimes the cloak of piety can help us with our religion. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. Sometimes, ya ikhwan, we have these other false cloaks and false titles and false names, ya ikhwan. I've met Muslims that are proud to tell me, I have a PhD, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's degree. So when you meet me, you must know that I am of a high upper echelon, a dunya degree, ya ikhwan. We need to focus on the Islamic pedigree, not on the degree. When me and you go into the grave, we're not going to be addressed as Dr. Fulan wa Alan. That's not going to happen. There's no status, ya ikhwan, in this dunya and the next dunya except for taqwa. We find Allah Ta'ala wanted to say, فَلَا تَزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَهُوَ عَلَمٌ بِمَنْ اتَّقَى فَلَا تَزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَهُوَ عَلَمٌ بِمَنْ اتَّقَى. Allah Ta'ala goes on to say, and do not ascribe piety. This is what we're looking for, ya ikhwan. Taqwa. To yourself. It is Allah who knows who has the piety, ya ikhwan. This is something that used to matter to the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It used to matter to us, ya ikhwan, that someone is muttaqi. And if you find, ya ikhwan, many of the verses in the Quran that talk about that Allah's help and success and aid will only be for the muttaqoon, ya ikhwan. Not for the PhDs, not for the master degree holders, not for the people of bachelors. These are dunyawiyah things, ya ikhwan. We need to focus on the category of taqwa, my brothers. And if it's not, ya ikhwan, clear enough for you, brothers, I have two hadith, al-sharif, from the Prophet ﷺ, both of them, mashallah, Sahih Muslim, they're both authentic. The wording is different, but the meaning, the maqsood minhu, the intended goal is the same thing. We find, ya ikhwan, the authority of both these hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. The first hadith, the wording is, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى صُوَارِكُمْ وَأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. The Prophet wanted to say that verily Allah, He does not look at your appearance or your wealth or your status, but rather He looks at your hearts and your actions. The other hadith of the Prophet wanted to say, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى أَجْسَامِكُمْ وَلَا إِلَى صُوَارِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. The Prophet went on to say that Allah, He does not look at your bodies. Do you have big, huge, strong muscles? You look physically good only? And as I've gotten older, ya ikhwan, some brothers, they don't know the pain that I've been going through since my father passed away. People who right away before they give me the salam say, oh brother, you're looking kind of fat now. I say, yeah, alhamdulillah, but inshallah, fat people, hopefully they can go to the Jannah. I didn't know that, ya ikhwan, that only skinny people can go to the Jannah. It's something that I'm working on. Instead of the brother saying, may Allah help you and aid you, the brother, he insulted me, ya ikhwan. So ya ikhwan, when you look at it, that Allah Ta'ala, the Prophet wanted to say, Allah does not look at your bodies or your forms. He only looks at your hearts, not the deeds that you do, my dear brothers. Now the question comes, ya ikhwan. Are there ayat in the hadith that talk about certain things that tell us how to dress? Yes, there is, ya ikhwan. But the matter here that we want to discuss, ya ikhwan, that just because someone, they look like they're muttaqi, doesn't necessarily mean that they're muttaqi, ya ikhwan. I can remember with my eyes, ya ikhwan, I seen footage with my eyes. The brothers, they showed me the footage of a Muslim brother dressed better than me, Islamically, come into the masjid, at a particular masjid in Toronto, reach in the zakat box and steal the money. And he can recite Quran really good, better than me. But the people were so caught up in how he looks. Ya ikhwan, looks, ya ikhwan, can get us into trouble. Looks can help us worship Allah if we have it with the right intention, my dear brothers. And we end it with this, my dear brothers, that if I was to make a fresh wudu, and I put on good Islamic clothing, for the sake of only worshiping Allah, then inshallah I will get my goal that I intended, to worship Allah, to be covered properly when I make sujood for the brothers. And this is the point that we wanted to come to. Some of our brothers, inshallah, we need to work upon our attire when we're making the sujood. I myself have seen brothers in front of me, when they make the sujood, ya ikhwan, the back of their shirt lifts up, and you can see things you're not supposed to see, ya ikhwan. Some brothers, they wear tight clothing, ya ikhwan, that when they make sujood, things are there that you shouldn't be seeing, ya ikhwan. So the salat is something, ya ikhwan, we have to work upon. So imagine the person who dresses up in a fancy, beautiful garment. He has on the kutra, he's put on ud, but his intention was not to come and worship Allah, it was to come, ya ikhwan, fawailul lil musallin. Huh? You know the ayah, ya ikhwan, when Allah talks about they come to make the salat only to be seen by the people, ya ikhwan. Ya ikhwan, I used to see a brother come to the salat, and he'd come very late, and then he'd push himself in the front row every time. They'd be in the front row because of one hadith, trying to pray in the front line, which is a good thing. But sometimes he would knock brothers over to get the spot, and he would come late, ya ikhwan. So what good is it in practicing one hadith when you come now and you nullify the sanctity, the hurma of the Muslims by bashing them to get in the front line, to be seen in the front line? Ya ikhwan, this religion for us is a very beautiful religion. It's a very easy religion. Don't pick and choose what you want from the religion to practice it. This is what Bani Israel used to do. They would take some of the book and use it and hide some of the book. With that, we say, ya ikhwan, may Allah make us people that dress with the real piety, beginning first with the piety of taqwa, before we wear the clothing of taqwa. And we're not falling to people being with the fake taqwa and the fake cloaks. With that, hadama indi, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We ask our imam to come and lead the salat, because he's better than us. Jazakallahu khair. May Allah give us iman and taqwa. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum. Sheikh, brother imam. Sit the imam, is it? Assalamu alaikum.